Welcome, y'all, to the ISI Iron Sharpens Iron podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy. Today, we're going to do another On My Way Home. Last couple of days, I've had pretty good ideas of stuff to talk about. Yesterday was pretty random, and I was all over the place. Been told that it wasn't that bad, but I don't know. I thought I was all over the place. Neither here nor there. Today I want to talk about something that I've actually spoken on before, but I'm going to speak on it again because I continue to see it. And that thing is Bibles. I know you're sitting there going, what are they going to say about the Bible? Well, the Bible is a very good thing. Obviously, it's the Word of God in print. It's what He's left for us here on earth to understand. What He said. Understand, and it's not a history book, but there's a lot of history in it. Obviously, understand the history of what was going on then, and it's the living Word, and people go, well, what is the living Word? That book is living. Yeah, most of it. The last of it was done 2,000 years ago. The last of it was put into print 2,000 years ago. But here we are, 2,000 years later, and it's still relevant. And it shows us how we're supposed to live, what we're supposed to do, and especially as men, it shows us exactly who we're supposed to be as a man of God. Now, in saying that, I'll say this. I've been to all kinds of different churches. I've been to several ministries. As you know, we have a ministry, ISI, Iron Sharpens Iron Ministry, discipleship. And I see it constantly. And I'm going, what is this? How do you study the Word of God without having a Bible in front of you? How do you do that? I mean, do you have it all stored right here? Because if you do, that's daggum awesome. I can't. I can barely recite verses, and I can read them over and over and over and not recite them. But I can't store it all. I've read the whole Bible. I can't store all of it. That's why we have physical copies of it. Tell you a little story. Went to a church one time to watch someone's baptism. Now, I'm not going to beat this church down. I've already beat this church down one time on one of my first podcasts, but I'm going to go over it again if you haven't heard it. We walk into this church. It's one of these New Age churches. One of these smoke and lights and big praise team. And tell you, this one kind of threw me for a loop because it was dark in there. It was really dark in there. I don't understand what they're getting at having the room dark unless it's all the lights are on the stage. Unless you're trying to guide my eyes towards the light, but it still doesn't make sense to me. Like the ceiling was painted black. I'm not sure if the walls were black. I know this wasn't a Church of Satan or anything like that. It was a prominent how do we put this? Franchise church here in the state of Arkansas. Most of you that live here probably know exactly who I'm talking about, but like I said, not gonna throw any shame at this church. But when I walked in, the first thing I was greeted by a young man in a T-shirt that said the church's name on it, and he greeted us by asking, "How many seats you need?" As if I just walked into a restaurant. That was a little off-putting, but maybe that's just me. I don't know. But the kid said, "How many?" And I'm like, there's 6 of us. Okay, let me see if I can find you 6 seats. I said, "Well, we're trying to find somebody." And he said, "Oh, okay. Who are you trying to find?" And we said the name, and these people have been going to church there for, I think, at least a year and a half at this point. And the kid said, "Yeah, I don't know who that is," and walks away. Thanks for your help, buddy. We find the people that we came to attend church with to witness this baptism, and the pastor gets up there and he's giving his sermon, which sounded way more like a TED talk than a sermon that I've ever heard. But I don't get out into these New Age churches very often, so I don't know. I don't know how it works. But anyhow, neither here nor there. The preacher doesn't have a Bible. Now I know. I've been told this is kind of the new thing, that even a pastor or a minister not having a Bible and going through his sermon, looking at his notes on his iPad or tablet or whatever you call it. What if that tablet goes down? What do you do then? What do you do then? Now, I'm not a preacher who I've preached, but I'm not someone who's tenured, if you will, in ministry, in being a minister. But I've never stepped up to the pulpit without my Bible. Because if I'm trying to bring you the Word of God, how else am I going to bring you the Word of God unless I have it in my hands? That was disturbing enough that the pastor of this church didn't have a physical copy of the Bible in his hands or in front of him, which I can't remember if he even had a pulpit or a stand. I think he had a stand up there. Anyhow, it doesn't matter. So that was disturbing enough as it was. But then I start looking around, and I see 2 people, 2 in this church who have Bibles. And it's me and my wife. Now, given I couldn't see every single person in this church because we were right there in the middle amongst everybody. But as far as I could see, there was 0 people with a physical Bible out. That's even more disturbing. And I'll tell you why. If I decide to give a sermon over what have you, and I know that my congregation is not going to have a Bible, I can tell you any daggum thing I want to. I can tell you anything I want to. If I'm going over a Bible study and I'm trying to drive a point home about, 3 verses, but you don't have a Bible in front of you, I can tell you anything you want, anything I want to. And you'll probably believe it. You'll probably believe it because you don't have a Bible in front of you. Now, I know a lot of people go by the way of carrying their phone um, and looking at their phone, looking at the Bible app on their phone. I don't think there's anything wrong with reading the Bible on your phone. I got two Bibles in my backpack. One of the little bitty Bibles in my lunchbox, and I've got three or four Bible apps on my phone. I'm not bragging or anything, but I've got a Bible with me everywhere I go. So I get, looking at the Bible on your phone. I get it. I understand. But here's the thing about the Bible on your phone. It's digital. At any moment, someone could get in there to that program and change some words around and make it look like, oh, this verse means something else. If you don't have a hard copy of a Bible, I would really, really implore you to go get one. And if you're in a Bible study, if you're going to church, if you're a preacher preaching, a minister, and you don't have a Bible in front of you, get one. Get a Bible. I just bought one, let's say, a couple 2 or 3 weeks ago on Mardell's. It cost me $13. Got it in my backpack right now. $13. I mean, now you can spend a lot of money on a Bible. There's no doubt about that. I got some rather expensive ones myself, but you can go inexpensive, and it's going to tell you the exact same thing. So that's what I got for today. Man, that's the more I see it, the more it aggravates me, because I feel like you're going to be easily misled. A, if you don't know the Bible. If you don't know the Bible, you're going to be easily misled. And B, if you don't know the Bible and your pastor's up there preaching and you're not following along with him, well, how do you know? How do you know? You don't know. You have no idea. You have no idea if what this man is saying, or even if the verses that he's referring to are the same verses that are coming out of the Bible. I'll say this about our pastor at Crosspoint. He tells us, fact check me. Well, how do you fact check a preacher? Well, if he's reading out of the Bible, you look down at yours. Oh, yeah. Yep, he said that right. Get you a physical copy of the Bible. Who knows? One of these days, the grid goes down, then what are you going to have? Well, if you ain't got a Bible, you're not going to have, if you don't have a physical copy of the Bible, you're not going to have the Bible. I don't know if y'all have ever seen that Denzel Washington movie. I can't think of it right now, but Book of Eli. There was supposedly one copy of the Bible left on earth at this point. And this man, I can't remember exactly how it went, but I know he fought dearly to keep a hold of that thing. I can promise you this, I'll fight dearly to keep a hold of mine as well. If you don't have a copy of the Bible, go get one. Go to Walmart. You can probably get one at the dollar store, I'm going to be honest. I mean, especially if you're in the South, you can probably walk up to any church and ask for a copy of the Bible, and most churches will probably have a spare copy of the Bible they can give you. Go get a Bible. Get in the Word. Get in the Word. That way you know what the Lord is trying to tell us. Anyhow, rant is over. I hope y'all have a blessed week. Y'all stay in the Word because you have a physical copy of the Bible. Y'all stay prayed up, and we'll talk to you next time.